shoot, shoot, man. I I really was trying to work on this part. I've been working. No, no, listen, check this out. You don't even know, like, I'm telling you, like, you don't even know. I don't know where to start right here, right now. Like, seriously, like, no, no, throw that over the bank. Listen, this is how we normally start out afternoon. Now we're free. My name is Taz. This is FRESHTEADESIGN 360. Thank you so much for streaming with me. Thank you so much for waiting on me. It's all for the inconvenience. I was really trying to catch, like, so it's like 6 o'clock and I know it has 30 seconds. Let's now check this out. It's like 6 o'clock, so I know it has 30 more seconds. I can catch it, and if I don't catch it on the 30 seconds, I can probably catch it on the 15 of the third. But I just throw it over the bank. Thank you so much for streaming with. My name is Taz. Again, however, now we are free. This is the soundtrack right here after Gladiator, and this is now when normally started. Well, when I done To the Valleys and the Terrians, I actually wrote that. But then when I go through it and I understand, start looking at certain perspective that each and every different individual can draw from it, I am not necessarily saying, when I said they might want me to touch on the topic of, when I said multicultural and a the culture and generation too, and the different gender. When I say the different gender, I don't really, that to me, in my perspective, if you're sick and you need a liver, if you're sick and you need a kidney, if you're sick and your family or your kids need a brain cancer or some, would it matter at that time? I was in that moment. I am not saying it is okay, and I'm not saying it's wrong either. My view is beyond those two comparison. My view is based on before now there was different people treating and behaving, not behaving, wrong word, they wanted to be their way, and that's their possible way of, maybe before there is a stigma on it. But like I said, I am not for either side of the situation. I'm beyond that point. I'm at a point where what would be necessary for someone to live or survive what would be necessary to save a life? What would be necessary, would that count, would it be a part, so that's just my perspective on it. So one time I said multi-race and gender, I know a lot of people possible would like some clarity on that situation, and trying to understand where I am coming from with that situation and where I'm coming from with that point. So, and what my real thoughts about it. But the overspill of an idea sometimes come with some things that the past culture would be agree with, and no telling, it might move on to a different generation where it's not even in existence anymore. But from my point, it's based on the living life. What if someone needs a heart or kidney? What if someone needs something of that? Would it matter then? Would it matter their sacrifice and their, like I said, I am not for either or oil, but they are one of the people that would possibly give to save a life. But like I said, I'm beyond the speculation of the right or wrong, because each person has their own voice, and each person, let's put it this way: if you're a relative of some sort, either not now or prior, how would you go about that situation? I am knowing, how would you rectify? You couldn't say, okay, we cannot be friends, or such of that. So no, I don't really put that thought on my mind process. I really focus more on the life that it could possibly help and heal, in that perspective. So that's a little bit of clarity on that situation. So like I said, I am not necessarily pointing fingers, and I'm to the point of where could it save a life, what could it do. And in the mornings, when we're sometimes the simple part of our community, if they're making the food for us to get to our jobs, or if they're there working at the grocery store, putting the food on the table, or the plants or the vegetables or whatever for us to pick up, during the midst of that, when we're grabbing the food and the fruits, it don't really matter at that time who put the food there, so long as it's there for us to get it and go check out and get home to our family. So it's just one of those situations that you will see. It's not something that you're accustomed to. No, it's not something that you grew up with. No, but such as iPhones, we cannot really just get rid of iPhones because it's not something that we don't grow up with. But like I said again, we cannot just get rid of it's a tough one. It's a sweet and sour situation for some people. But like I said, from my perspective, I would think I would think, I would see it from my side, where I would say, okay, would it make sense to save a life? How could it save a life? How could it save someone? What good could it do for our community? And I'm not speculating on either side of it. I'm just down the middle with it. So of the caring, the nurturing, what side would that go with? When I do through the valleys and terrains, I meant to, this is our life. This is how it is for us. And and I consider the brave ones, or the explorers who came here and doing the same thing like other explorers did, and exploring the country and exploring the world. And yes, I can have some different views on it, but that's okay, because you also have a different view, and then I give you the view that I have, and then you can draw a certain conception from your thoughts, and you can either point that in a positive direction, or you can point it in a negative direction, or you can keep it in between and have a balanced situation of whatever it might be that you think, or whatever it might be I say throughout this, about this, that we've rode through the valleys and the terrains of the Appalachian Mountain. And when I say the core people, I feel like all of us, we are people, and we are the core. We are a network, and we are, yes, we're different. And the funny thing about it is we will fight each other each and every day to preserve, to get to the dream, that thought, that feeling, to grasp that feeling of what the dream really feels like. We will fight each other, but during the midst of that, we'll use 25% to work on our talent, to create and build on our intelligence. And sometimes we're trying to get to the peak of our intelligence, to where we just turn around in return and share that. But through the midst of the battle on the field each day, we cannot identify that we're getting the tools and all we need to equip ourselves to enlarge and manifest our intelligence, which to me I have a smile on it, because at the end of the day we do what we're here to do. We serve each other. We show and we teach each other of how to do whatever it is once we've discovered that we've reached to the pinnacle of our intelligence, where you can self-evaluate yourself and say, I am, or you are. And so then you do what we're here to do. We share, we're here to serve each other. We share that talent back. We give back a little bit. You notice whenever anyone gets extremely rich, and once they come to a certain point in their life, they just start giving it. They just start giving it back. They start giving it back. They start giving it back. Because they've realized something. Not only money is not just, they realize the relevance of life is different. In between them there's the money, but then the relevance of life come back to them, which it was on the sideline for a minute, because the perseverance was not to take care of your body that worth $1 million. That was not the old goal. The goal was to persevere and persevere in our dreams, and whatever the dream was, in that midst of that, life itself for you, it wasn't of importance. Now once you have attained the dream that you desire, that you called your dream, whatever, in that perspective, then in between that gap, right before you start giving back, you realize there is something else worth more. In that gap you realize there is life. There is life, and you'll continue to give, but you will start looking towards life itself. However, that's why it goes back. Yes, we're here to serve each other, for sure. But in the midst of everything, we're so distracted with our emotion, our anger, our stress, all these different, I don't want to say obstacles, because these are derived from possible growth, possible environment, but those are so weird, because out of those depression and struggle and stresses, sometimes you find your own self. So what can you call this, and how do you see this? It's only a question that you can answer, because every question you get asked, there's an answer for it. Maybe at the point you don't have that answer, but every question is a searching. It's searching, and so you have to search yourself for the answer, and not necessarily going to be right there in that very minute for you to answer. If you answer, it's just not necessarily, you don't get the time to really think about what you're really answering. You answer to the significance of the environment, maybe for what you think everyone would like, what you think would make the core better, but not necessarily what would make yourself or your talent be better, the best. So it's a searching question. You will find it, and we always find it. The senator didn't turn Senate overnight. All the leaders didn't turn the leaders overnight. All the people reached the heights of their accomplishment, the heights of their ability. It didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of trial. And for me, I never think of it as fear anyway. I think it is always here. Everything is already here. Earl Nightingale says, listen to him, he says, here it's a land of abundant of opportunity. And not only it's an abundant of opportunity, but everything is already in its existence, and it's just we have to go through and find it. It's already here. Somebody tried already. Someone it's when those guys were coming from on the sea, from searching for this world, the minute they got here, they probably stick a flag. They've done something that they probably stuck a flag, not necessarily a flag that represents what it represents now at that time, but it was a flag of something. It was a flag of courage, arrival. It was a flag that would represent their new home. So thinking back and what it could have been like, that it's the same way we here that from all corners of the earth come here, we stick a flag in some shape or form, whether it's school, whether it's a business, whether it's kids, whether it's, the list can go on. What is your flag? What is in your bag? What did you bring in your bag here? What is in your bag? What is your flag? And what does your flag represent? What's amazing when I think about the multicultural, the international, they live two lives simultaneously. A home here with a flag here, and a flag there, where they're split down the middle of the culture, which they will not let go of either each other. However, what is your flag? What's in your bag? What's your journey been like? We all share a story. We all share the story, but they stuck a flag here. They went through the process like we're going through right now, like we go through each and every day, that process. And the journey is sometimes it's where you go, and when the road forks, you wonder, do I take left or do I take right? But you will not find out the answer if you take left. You will not find the answer on what's on right, and that's somehow, even if someone took the right road on the right and you took the left, the person still can only tell you about his journey. Your feelings are not in that journey. You didn't gain no character from that journey. You only gather the character, you only gather what you've gathered from the direction you took. So what's in your bag? What's your trademark? This is FRESHTEADESIGN 360. My name is Taz. Thank you for streaming with me. Through the valleys and the terrains of the Appalachian Mountain, through the winding turn and curves and the monstrous hills of the Great Smoky Mountain, into the town and the small surrounding city of this historic land, with many history of the place and its people. It's also a place that many ethnic groups call home. People, corners of the world, have somehow found their home here in the Smokies, which transformed each and every one to be a part of the core of a county, a town, a city, a state, and a country. How remarkable is the story of multi-race and gender is a part of our daily success. It's an unbelievable diversity sculpture in this unique place of beauty, character, we have met some of the most interesting and the most beautiful people we could ever get acquainted with and get to know. We ourselves accepting each other and understanding each other and learning to grow from each other. We've touched this one, and it goes to where I say when they arrive and the flag that they stuck in the bag and the teaching of what we're doing today from what they did is the same kind of teaching here with this music right here, and it touched me to the core when I listened to it, because there's something about it that's just resonates to me. I hope you find it same way. Now every time I see and listen to Jake and Steve Harvey, I get these tears, because this is how they've been communicating for years to the guys on the has to be on the street hustling night and day. It's a teaching that trying to teach, like, let's go this way, let's do this way, let's go this way, let's go this way. And this is after it's learned from, and this is after they learned it. It's been, this is the transition moment and the transition period of this old, everything is in this. It's life in it, it's spirituality in it, it's the journey in it, it's the culture in it. The voice is the culture. You can feel all the gravel and all the strength and everything in the voice, the texture. But the teaching, the transition period, he's transitioning himself through over into the skin. This will make you sit down and just, they say in the morning times you have to make your bed. You listen to this in the morning time, you want to get down on your knees. If you're not accustomed to praying, this will let you sit down and pray for a good minute. Walk back ways to your kitchen, get something to drink, and go back to praying. I'm telling you. The transition period, the moment, Eddie Murphy, all these guys with these talents, the transition, and actors too. Because when the first time Africans start acting, they act with pain. on their faces. The pain was the best way for them to get a role in the movie at the I don't know at the time. It was to show it's the transition is happening now where it's different. It's a little smile, but it's it makes you want to it makes you want to pray. It makes you, when you listen to this, if you are rich, I mean rich, throw that over the bank. If you're wealthy, you will definitely put the money to the side, and the gap between the money and you exploring what you're really here for, this will put you in a position to ask yourself, have you done enough? Are you the best of you? Not even the best of you. What are you here for? We can only identify the free gift of life. Moments, and seconds. The moment you go through your pictures and looking at your pictures, those are the gift of life. In that moment, that will make you smile, and that smile lasts for a minute, it lasts for a second, it lasts for a moment. That's the joy that we try to achieve every day. That is why we get up and work so hard. Is that because we know to ourselves that we can identify these moments only in minutes, moments and seconds, but minutes and moments and seconds is just not enough. So we try our best. I can put the words to the side on the bank and come straight directly to, that's how we feel. That's why you get up so much. You want to grasp a hold of that moment again. That would be in the picture. That way you can look at your picture and it represents that moment, that minute of the free gift of life, of your life, of our life. You are right here and I'm right there. We're no different. You are right here and I'm right here. I am a fan, you are a fan, and it would not be nothing without you. I am a fan also. So that's why I know you are here and I'm there, because you are my fan, and in return I am the fan. 360. This is FRESHTEADESIGN. Thank you so much for streaming with me. It's just a wonderful feeling for it to touch you like this in the transition period. The transition time between them, just expressing, learning, teaching, both spiritually and how to be here in the world. And then he also passes on to us and to others. On the other side, you can know from the other side. I would tell you from the other side, it's the same way. So that's why I know I am you and you are I. We're both, because we're both fans of each other. The free gift of life. How amazing. The moment and the time. Right here, it's the same transition between the learning, the same learning through the culture of spirituality, and it's just talking to us in Every time I listen to this guy and I hear how he goes way deep for that. Like, I am so hungry to serve, and but he also trying to grab a hold of that. What make him that hungry in that song is the gift of life, the free gift of life. He just wants to. That's possibly his moment. I don't know. But on the other side, it was the preaching also. It's also the preaching that led us to hear what dictates our day, what dictates our future, what dictates the culture. The culture how we talk, the culture how we learn how to talk. They say it might be diluted or it might deteriorate, but it's so strong that it can never dilute. It can never deteriorate. It's what we are here doing. The guys who do motivational speaking, this is what they're doing. The guys who are singing, that's what they're doing. The people in the movies, this is what they're doing. The people are acting. It's the transition of the culture of the Bible. It's of the Bible coming, but then it's like different branches. So we branches off to different areas. Some people tone down the spiritual side of it to get other character in it, so it can be approved for different levels of inspiration, guideline, and then different avenues are created of the communication, the way we communicate truth is, and it's several different areas, but just through the communication for everyone else in different areas. Whether it's music, it's spliced down the middle, create a little side that we can evaluate it, and it can go, and people from with different character can listen to it. People with different character can listen to it. Then it branches off to music, and it's also in that bracket to where, okay, it's transition off a little bit. So we'll take our bits pieces off it and put it in different movies, and then we kind of build from that as the foundational, as the fundamental, as a structure, and then we work our way in separating a few different sides so we can grow and build on whatever it is that we have imagined or dreamed in ourselves that we can do and utilize this in whatever way we can. My name is Taz. Through the valleys and the terrains of the Appalachian Mountain, through the worm and turn and curves and the monster cells, the Great Smoky Mountain, into the town and the small surrounding city of this historic land with many history of the place and its people. Why me? I am not the guy with the beautiful hair. I know this comes with a stigma, but sometimes I push it to see how far the stigma, if it will fall off, or how long the road of with the stigma will carry me. I'll carry its character, not necessarily me, because I know what it has such a representative out there, but I still try to see how it will move forward. It may not make it into the different buildings and the different characters and the different place of success in the eyes of other successors which went through the door looking a different way, but life through the valleys and turns, the Appalachian Mountains, to the one in turn and curves, and the monstrous hills, the Great Smoky Mountain, into the towns and the small surrounding city of this historic land with many history of the place and its people. It's also a place that many ethnic groups call home. People of corners of the world have somehow found a home here in the Smokies, which transform each and every one to be a part of the core of a county, a town, a city, a state, and a country. How remarkable is this story? Who am I to tell in this story? Who am I to say this? Full with beauty and character. Beauty and character. Distinct beauty. Distinct beauty. Distinct character. Success. Achievement. What is success to you? What is achievement to you? What is the clarification of that? How do you clarify your success? But what I do know, everyone was born with an intelligence. And what I do know is, not because you are at the cube working, that's not necessarily your intelligence. Not because you are at the stool working, that's not necessarily your intelligence. You were made with your two hands. There is something your hands. There is something that your hands can do. I don't know what it is. Only you know. But if we were here to serve each other, there is something that you can carve, cook, cut, turn, spin, wash, create. There is something that you can do with those two hands of yours. That can paint a picture of your own self. We only was born with two hands. These are our two tools. These are the most creative things that we have to utilize. What we do. What is yours? I ask you again, what is your trademark? What is your trademark? What is your trademark? A mom might look at me and say, what is my trademark? A mother might ask herself that. What is my trademark? Maybe we are your trademark. Maybe I am your trademark. What's in your bag? A journey within a journey. What's your trademark? What is in your bag? How hard has this journey been? And now that you have accomplished, now that you have reached the level that you only you alone know and is satisfied with, I am proud of you, and I appreciate everyone who streams with me and are a fan of me. And like I said, you are me and I'm you, because I am the fan of someone else and you are the fan of me. So it's the same. We're all the fan of each other. What a unique way of serving each other. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone out there. My name is Taz. Shiyu. Konnichiwa. Bonjour. Xin chào. Ni hao. Marhaba. Yo. Hello. Thank you so much out there, everyone. Appreciate everyone.